It's another beautiful Thursday morning right here in the city of Ibadan. Yes, it's time to talk sport on Dominion Sport. This is Dominion Television broadcasting live from the city of Ibadan. Iagoku, to be precise. My name is Boluwaji Ogmola. I'm so excited today to be a part of today's show and, of course, to have you join us on today's edition of the show where we'll bring you all of the latest as far as sport news and analysis is concerned. Well, as usual, Tolu and Nipola Bay is with me in the studio, and together we'll be doing justice to all of the trending stories in the world of sport. Tolu is here this morning, and, of course, good to have you once again.
It's good to have you also, and I'm always excited to be on Dominion Television to give our top-notch analysis in the world of sport. Like you said, it's going to be top-notch. We have everything loaded for you, from the world of basketball to the local stories, and I just want the sporting family to stay connected to Dominion Television.
I mean, a lot happened in the world of sport yesterday, from the Gold Cup to the FIFA Club World Cup to the Philly story and many of them. Your high points from yesterday?
Okay, my high point from yesterday would be the Favour of Philly story. We also connected live with Annabelle, giving us top-notch analysis also of situations like that. And, we saw the emotions, while she was speaking about the situation in Favour of Philly. And the story is still ongoing. We still have more, update about that. So I think it's best we know the current situation with Favour of Philly story. And also, my high point also will be, it will be the President Federation Cup. I think there's so much, going on right now. We are getting so much energy. Like you said, you asked the question yesterday, you said, what's it going to be like in Lagos? And I said, we need the fans to turn up right there in Lagos. So I think those were my highlights, from yesterday.
So yesterday, we went to the camp of Abakaliki Football Club, the Giant Killers, and today we'll be talking about the female, later today. Don't forget that Rivers Angels will be facing Nassau Amazons in the female final. I'll be going to the camp of Rivers Angels very shortly. But then, we'll definitely start from the Federation Cup. It's the biggest thing now in Nigeria, league action of. And why is it important is because that the eventual champion of the Presidential Federation Cup will represent us on the continent. Well, let me inform you this morning that Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu is expected to be the special guest of honor, at Saturday's President Federation Cup Grand Finale. That will be played in Lagos at the Mobolaji Johnson Arena. Other governors are also expected. The governor of Kwara State, Governor Abdurrahman Abdulrazak is expected. The governor of Ebonyi State is also expected. I mean, all of the state, all of the participating teams, we expect the governors of that state to be there. But first off, let's quickly head straight to the camp of Rivers Angels, where their coach, Tosin Blackson, the captain, and a few of their players will be speaking to us. We need to meet them, right?
Yeah, actually.
Get to know them and find out how they are preparing for the finals holding later on Saturday. Don't forget the final of the female category starts at 1 o'clock. Rivers Angels versus Nassau Amazons, and of course the male starts at 4 p.m. Same day, Mobolaji Johnson Arena. But let's quickly get to meet the players and the coach of Rivers Angels.
Since our last encounter at the Super 6, we came back and all hands have been on deck. And to the glory of God, we have been training well. Everybody's pushing hard, knowing that, yes, this is the only trophy remaining for the season and it's the big one in the country. We need to win it to write our names in gold. So we are giving in everything we have, and with the help of our coach, motivating us, encouraging us in every way. So we are fully ready for the match. Thank you.
My name is Ifomi Kenokwalu. I'm a defender, Rivers Angels. Well, we are in the finals again, and we are working hard to win the cup, to bring it back to Port Harcourt again. We are going to make history. Thank you.
I know the FA Cup finals will be very tough because we played Nasarawa in Super 6. They won 2-1, but the FA Cup is a different ball game. Since we came back from Ikene, we have been preparing so hard. The girls, they have been responding so well. The management crew that have been taking care of the team. This is the only trophy we're going to look for because we cannot lose the Super 6 and lose the FA Cup again. I know, by the grace of God, I know God is for everybody, but the work you're giving to the team matters a lot. We're going to win the trophy for the 10th time. I know, Rivers Angels, they are a trophy team. And definitely, I will be part of them winning the trophy come Saturday. In Jesus' name, amen.
There you have it. Get to meet the players of Rivers Angels talking tough ahead of the final against Nasarawa Amazons. Tolu, and don't forget, they are the defending champions of this one. And of course, they'll be looking to continue from where they stopped last season.
Yeah, so the question now is, you know, I think everybody's, the Super Falcons, I'm sorry to digress, are also going for the La Decima. Also, you know, Rivers Angels also going for the 10th.
I'm loving that La Decima thing,
so
right?
I think it's a thing now. But the coach, you know, Blackson, and I'm happy that he said, he used the word, said, God is for everybody. And, you know, so you need to put in the hard work in the field of play, and, you know, you'll see result. And I think it's one thing to see them also try to go again, you know, for the second year running for them, to see how far they can go. I think, and they're in high spirit, but I'm not taking anything away from the Nasarawa Amazons also. Remember, they were previous champion in 2025.
Absolutely.
I mean, 2005, I'm sorry, 2005. And also 2019. So not that they're not a pack to work on. They're also, you know, players to see, you know, how far they can go for them. So I think it's going to be a big battle between Rivers Angels and also Nasarawa Amazons.
Of course, we're looking forward to that particular final. Promises to be very exciting, going by what the players and the coach of Nasarawa Angels are currently saying at the moment. And of course, who do want? I mean, a lot has happened in Rivers State of recent. The whole administrators issues. The also administrator taking over the state from the governor being suspended. At least Rivers Angels have a reason to make them smile in that state. Yeah. So from there, let's leave female football and talk about the Nigerian Premier Football. Bayelsa United have announced the resumption of the 2025-2026 Premier League season. The Prosperity Boys will start preparations for the new season on Saturday, the 28th of June. Bayelsa United official, that's Tarilo Okorowanta, disclosed this in a chat yesterday. He stated that the technical crew will determine the retained players and will recruit new players for the new team. Well, let me also inform you today that Shooting Stars they're also preparing to resume. In fact, they resumed already. And of course, a lot is at stake when it comes to Shooting Stars for this new season. But the good news for Shooting Stars fans is that Ogunbate is staying. A few weeks ago, the news was that, Kano Pillars wants to snatch him because their coach left. But then Ogunbate came out a few days ago to say he's staying back at the club 1 more season and he will honor that season. So the boys are back in camp, Jericho camp. That's where the camp is, and they're currently training at the Awolowo Stadium in the University of Ibadan, preparing for the new season that starts in August. Well, they need to chart a new course for that team. Because last season was not it at all for Shooting Stars. You know, having to see them looking like a team who could fight for the MPFL and also the Continental spot. I think initially was the MPFL, Continent. Then maybe MPFL.
Then all of a sudden we're backward. It's not looking good. But right now, I think they say as you lay your bed, so you lie on it, and they're starting early. You know, having to see, you know, what are those things that we can do better. You come next season, which is upon us shortly, and also August. And remember, like you said, Gbenga Ogunbote was looking like a man who was going to leave to Kano Pillars, but luckily, so I think it's okay to have your house in order, you know, your management in order, and also I think you don't need to put the players also in order to say, okay, I think this is going to be the new tactics going forward next season.
And the players
also, so we're not going to have errors. What are those errors that we need to, you know, put right and remove additions, subtractions, multiplications, you know, for next season. So we're expecting so much from Shooting Stars come next season. We love the club and we want them to be on high success. You know, I think, trust me, if a Shooting Stars can go ahead, you know, to pick up the MPFL, you know, trophy come next season, trust me, Ibadan is going to be wow. We're going to celebrate like never before.
I tell you.
So we're expecting good success from them.
We're expecting good success from our darling team, Shooting Stars. Let's move away from Shooting Stars and talk national team. We're 9-time African champions. The Super Falcons of Nigeria arrived in Morocco 0 yesterday. Casablanca, to be precise, of course, from Portugal, Lisbon, as they search for their 10th Women's AFCON title. The pair of China-based forward Fola Shade Ijamilusi and US-based Asisat Oshoala arrived in Casablanca ahead of the Nigerian delegation, of course, comprised of 22 players and team officials. They flew straight to the Moroccan city as they were not part of the team that played the friendly against Portugal in Lisbon on Monday, where goalkeeper Chiamaka Nnadozie, defender Shukura Oladipo, veteran forward Francisco Dega each had a game to remember. Now, after securing that goalless draw in the friendly on Monday, the Super Falcons will open their 13th Women's African Cup of Nations campaign against Tunisia on Sunday, the 6th of July. Now, their next fixture is against Botswana, then Algeria in the group phase. The Super Falcons of Nigeria have never failed to reach the semi-finals at the Women's African Cup of Nations since it was launched as the African Women's Championship in 1998. Winners in 1998, 2000, 2002, 2004, 2006, 2010, 2014, 2016, and 2018. The Falcons made the last 4 in 2008, 2012, and 2022. Undoubtedly, the biggest and the greatest African female team.
Yes, actually.
Gunning for the La Decima.
I think the record speaks for itself, you know, having to have that record. And so I think it's going to be an high spirit for the Super Falcons of Nigeria. And also the players are in camp already. You know, they're already preparing, and we have experienced players also. You know, you mentioned the goalkeeper, which is a key figure. You know, a wonderful goalkeeper for me. And I think she's going to be a key figure for the Super Falcons for this year WAFCON. And also, you know, we have the captain Ajibade, also Francisco Dega, you know, experienced players who have done it before and want to do it again. So I think it's going to be an ice spirit. And looking at the group stage, for me, I think I don't want to say it's going to be a walkover, but I think you know, we need to get it right. You know, the first game, get it right, get all 3 points. Second game, get all 3 points. Then I think we are through, you know, to the next round. And like the record speaks for itself, you know, we've always been in the semi-final stage of the WAFCON. And remember, we're going for the La Decima, so I'm expecting you know, the Super Falcons to do justice, you know, this year. And you know, like I said about football in Nigeria, it brings unity, it brings peace. So look at the spirit, you know, from the Rivers Angels and Nasarawa Amazons, also the Super Falcons also in action, the President Federation Cup, you know, for the male side. So football brings so much unity, so much love within us. And I think this is one thing we'll be looking forward to right there in Morocco, Casablanca.
Are you missing the off-season at all?
Okay, no, no. Actually, I'm not, because you know it's we still have the FIFA Club World Cup going on. We have the Gold Cup going on. So we have the WAFCON coming up. You know, we have so much. We have so much. And I think okay, so it's not about me now. I think it's for the pleasure of the sporting fan, because we have so much to give them. You know, back to back updating the world of sports. So it's, you know, it's going to be an exciting time right here on Dominion Television.
Exciting time ahead for sport lovers globally, because you can join us anywhere you are on planet Earth. Visit Dominion Broadcast on YouTube. Do subscribe, and of course enjoy all of our programs right here on Dominion Television. There you have all our social media platforms right there on your screen for you to enjoy us. Also, dominion.org.ng. You can always catch us our program there, and of course on YouTube. Very important for you to subscribe, share to your friends to enjoy all of our programs every day of the week. Well, let's move away from female football and talk about a Nigerian footballer. We told you about him yesterday, and he finally signed for Paris FC. His name is Moses Daddy Simon, who joined the newly promoted side from Nantes in a deal worth €7 million. The 29-year-old Nigerian put pen to paper on a 3-year deal. The tricky winger registered 8 goals and 10 assists in 32 games for Nantes last season. Simon was on the books of Nantes for 6 years, initially arriving on loan from Spanish club Levante in 2019-2020 season. He has established himself as one of the best wingers in the Ligue 1, and Paris FC gained promotion to the Ligue 1 just last season. And of course, the plan is to make more big signings to maintain their top flight status. Obviously, we need them to make more big signings, honestly, because I mean, we can't just have our boy alone, running out on the pitch. They must bring in big boys.
Boys, the big boys. And Moses Simon until 2028, and trust me, he's a fantastic winger. He has done great things for Nantes right here in the French League One. And like we said yesterday, we said we're expecting him to be in the Premier League for a player of his caliber. So maybe the agents were just talking about the age factor and maybe not getting the right amount of money for both the management and all for England. But I think it's a good one to see a newly promoted side right now, and we have our own player playing for that club side. So it's going to be a big one for Moses Simon. We hope the best for him, and keep scoring the goals, keep being the tricky winger that you are right there for Paris.
Fantastic player anytime, any day, and no wonder the sporting director of the club said they are so proud to have the Nigerian international, because a number of clubs actually submitted offers for him. He's also surprised himself that the young man would decide to join them. But then it is what it is. Our boy just want to enjoy his football.
And speak French, maybe. Speak more French.
Of course, speak more French language, right? And of course, make the money, because honestly, I think Paris FC, they've got the money. They're just a few miles away from Paris Saint-Germain. And then maybe he's also eyeing Paris Saint-Germain, honestly. He's 29 years old, spent 6 years with Nantes already, where he scored a total of 37 goals. Provided 42 assists in 201 appearances for the club. So I'm sure that Nantes will be proud of him. Well, away from that, let's talk cricket quickly, Toluwani. When Nigeria's senior men's cricket team, the Yellow Greens, have kicked off their training camp in Lagos ahead of the upcoming international assignment. The team is preparing for the final round of qualifiers for the 2026 ICC Men's T20 World Cup and the 2025 ILT20 Africa Cup. The T20 World Cup qualifiers will take place in Zimbabwe from September 28th to October 4th, where the World Cup itself is billed for India and Sri Lanka between February and March 2026. Before then, the Yellow Greens will also compete in the ILT20 Africa Cup in Uganda from July 13th to 30th. Head coach and the high performance manager of the Nigerian team, Steve Tikolo, has invited 21 players to camp for the crucial assignment. Team captain Sylvester Okpe leads the squad, which includes familiar faces such as wicketkeeper Sulaiman Runshewe, Isaac Danladi, Daniel Ajekun, Ridwan Kadem is also in the team, Isaac Okpe, Prosper Husseini also in the team. We also called up the likes of Selim Saliu, Mohamed Taiwo, Vincent Adewoye, and a long list of cricketers that will be representing us. Toluwani, not a very popular sport in Nigeria, but it is what it is. Our boys are participating in a big tournament, and why not give them the support that they deserve?
So I think for the Yellow Green, like you said, it's not a popular sport in Nigeria. Trust me,
cricket.
So many people don't even understand the logic, behind cricket. But we must give our support to the Yellow Green right there. Having to play several competitions, for Nigeria. So we're open for the very best for them. And you said the coach has called up our 21 players, and I'm sure these 21 players are experienced players.
Yes, it's a blend of experienced players
and young guns. So I think one thing I must say about Nigerian sport is that they support grassroots sport. So
because look at that cricket. I mean, some will be surprised that we actually have a cricket league in Nigeria.
Wow. So I think it's actually a big one, to see us growing, our Nigerian sport, from grassroots, mixing with experienced players and also the young guns, to blend together and see how far they can go. So we're supporting the Yellow Greens right there for the Nigerian Cricket Federation.
One of these days, I'll bring the president of the federation on the show to talk to us about cricket and of course win more fans for cricket.
I think we need to do that. We need to do that.
Because but in case you want to experience that sport, you can head on to the Liberty Stadium, play cricket. There's a cricket oval in there. Beautiful. And the boys, is it Boys High School now? No, GCI now.
GCI
yes.
Yeah, okay. Yeah.
I mean, they're known for cricket, in Oyo State. So you can always catch a glimpse of that. And of course, we will do our best to promote that sport also on this show. Let's move on this morning and tell you that the Director General, National Sports Commission, his name is Honorable Bukola Olopade, has reaffirmed that Favour Ofili remains a Nigerian athlete, dispelling recent speculation about her purported switch of allegiance to Turkey. Now, speaking yesterday at the World Press Conference for the CAA, that's the Convention of African Athletics Under-18 and Under-20 Championship in Abuja, Olopade, who also serves as the LOC, categorically stated that there is no official confirmation of any nationality change for the elite sprinter. That's Favour Ofili. According to him, now let me quote him, Favour Ofili is still representing Nigeria. She wrote to the NSC 2 months ago, reaffirming her commitment to compete for Nigeria. Olokpade said when he resumed as the DG of the NSC, he said he called her personally and she confirmed her allegiance to Nigeria. The NSC DG further disclosed that Ofili is one of 69 athletes who received financial grants from the commission in April this year, underlining her active participation in national development programs. And of course, another quote here says, there has been no official communication from any international federation or national body indicating that she has switched allegiance. As far as NSA is concerned, she remains a Nigerian athlete. That's coming from Olokpade too. I think we should just quickly watch that particular press conference that they had yesterday in Abuja, where Honorable Olokpade addressed this particular issue. Let's listen and we'll be back.
As of today, the NSC has not received any communication from Ofili or AFN to say that Ofili has defected. So it is alleged. Colleagues, am I correct? Legal person. Am I not? Sorry, right? As of today, no official letter. And I'm not going to join the bandwagon to say our beautiful daughter that loves this country so much has left us. Because I know Ofili loves Nigeria. And Nigeria loves Ofili. I personally, as a DG, and I speak in mind of financial people, we love Ofili and we do not want to lose Ofili. We want Ofili to continue to represent Nigeria.
There you listen to Director General NSC Bukola Olokpade speaking yesterday. Toluwani, here you have it. Another angle to the entire story. What's your thoughts?
It looks like a season movie. So maybe we can call it Favour Ofili, Saga season 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, because I'm sure tomorrow again we'll get another story behind it. But I think Bukola Olokpade has given more light to the situation. Saying that she's still a Nigerian athlete. And he's saying that he personally called her. They spoke about it. So I think, like I said yesterday, I think
she also received funding
also.
A few months ago.
You said yesterday, you said yourself that Favour has not even actually said anything. Going on, and
the World Athletics also that we did talk about them yesterday also said yes, they received application, but they didn't mention names.
No names. So we're going to ask the question: who is giving us the story? So where's it coming from? Where are we getting this Favour Ofili a story from? But it is what it is. And but Bukola Olokpade is saying that she's still a Nigerian athlete. And all things confirmed that she's still representing.
No official communication
from
any federation.
No talking. Nobody has said anything. She said that we still give her money, we still give her grant. So she's still our athlete. So until then, so maybe when Favour comes to Boluwaji's DM, I said okay, Boluwaji, I think I need to be on the Dominion television.
Favour wouldn't want to talk to anybody at this point. I'm very sure that Favour wouldn't want to talk to anybody at this point. But then I would definitely be in her DM, just like you said, hoping that she will talk. But I trust those people. They will want to talk at this point. I know how they work. All right, I think we should leave that point now and talk about basketball in Nigeria. Well, the Nigerian Basketball Federation has released a 20-player provisional roster ahead of the 2025 FIBA Women's AfroBasket Tournament set to hold in the Ivory Coast this summer. The provisional list includes the core of the sides that won the last AfroBasket tournament in Kigali, Rwanda in 2023, plus a mixture of emerging talent. Now, headlining this particular provisional list is Ezine Kalu and Promise Amukamara. Plus, there is also sports for the likes of Ami Okonkwo, Nicole Enabosi, and Lauren Ebo, also included in this one. Victoria Macaulay makes a long-awaited return. Meanwhile, Sholakbe Amuson earns only a second call-up, while Grace Efosa has been given a maiden invite by Coach Wakama. Defensive stalwart of Palace Akunai and Majinatu Musa ever feature on the list, as well as Olawuyi Adenike. Also have Izoje Uche, Gift Uche, Damilola Yusuf, a long list. Now, the coach of the side, Rakama, And the entire team, no doubt, they are the reigning holders of the continental competition, and they'll be looking to win an unprecedented 5th consecutive title when the team touches down in the Francophone nation later on. Well, I actually have the plan. What we'll have on the screen very shortly, the list of players invited, like I mentioned earlier, and very shortly, a basketball expert will be joining us very soon to discuss this particular one. Yeah, there you have the entire roster on your screen, the players that have been invited for this one, as Wakama looks to continue should we say our path?
Our path, yeah. I think
dominance.
Dominance, success.
Yes, success in this particular competition. Yes. And very shortly, Kenny Bamidele will be joining us, the basketball expert, to talk about this particular competition, and of course the players invited and those that will eventually, because this is the provisional list, right? Preliminary list, will eventually make this roster. But what are your thoughts on this one before Kenny joins us?
Okay, so for me, I'm going to give kudos to the coach, Wakama, and she has done a fantastic for the Tigress for me. And, you know,
she's a young and beautiful coach.
Yeah, young and beautiful. And having to go back to the Olympics in Paris, you know, where the Tigress did something fantastic. Yeah. You know, you saw these players, Ezine Kalu, you know, Amu Kamara. Just these players did fantastic for me. You know, I watched all their games right there, you know, during the Olympics, and it was fantastic. And having to see them again, gunning for the 5th, so it's going to be a big one, you know, for them, and it's going to show dominance. They have done it over time, and they are set to do it again in the Francophone nation. So I'm not expecting anything less, you know, from you know, Wakama and the players. So we're just expecting them to go for success, you know, right there in the Francophone nation.
Yes, in Abidjan, that is particularly holding, and well, for you to have a clearer vision, of course, a clear view of that particular list, and there you have it on your screen. Of course, Promise Amokamara, Ezine Kalu, Ifeanyi Okoro, Elizabeth Balogun, Grace Fosa, of course, Sholakwe Amusan is also there, Ami Okonko, Nicole Enabose, long list of players, but then I just want to talk about this one. You look at this AfroBasket, the D Tigers, they really won, making us proud. The male. But honestly, you look at basketball generally in Nigeria, it's not where it should be. We've not had league in years. All we've been having is qualifiers for the Basketball Africa League. Oh, Basketball Africa League is happening next month. Let's have a small league, you know, so we can have the champion that will represent the Basketball Africa. But that is honestly why the league is not progressing, especially the male league. The female league, we heard it was going to start few weeks, and now they've postponed, and now we have to wait. But the male league, it's not. I mean, the internal rancor, the internal crisis in that federation is not allowing things to improve. Because I'm actually worried at this point.
Same here.
If not that these girls play abroad.
Yeah. So
honestly.
So if they're not playing abroad, that means we cannot actually unpick
a solid team.
We can have a solid team that's representing us right there. So I think they need to look at you know, the situation.
Come back to the basis.
The basis, and let's see how far you know, we can put this in place, because we need these players. We need them, because very soon all these international players, you know, they wear out, and we need the young guns, you know, to be part of this system to see how far they can go. And trust me, not that Nigeria cannot produce, you know, wonderful
we've got talent everywhere.
In the world of basketball or around sports. So I think they need to do something, you know, going forward, to have a league, you know, for the men's side and also the women's side.
Honestly, we need a solid league that will run for at least 8 months.
8 months.
You know, 8-9 months, and not have just a 1-month league. And that's what we've been having for the past 5-6 years.
1 month, 2 months, 3 months, and we are done again. Then they were looking at how to put things in place.
At the end of the day, we go to Basketball Africa League,
and we are not performing well. So, like you said, it's only the Tigers giving us joy.
Honestly, I mean, you saw what happened at last Olympics.
Beautiful.
But for the male, I mean, that can be said. And of course, you always attribute that to the fact that we don't have a solid league in Nigeria. All right, well, we're waiting for Kenny Bamidele to join us anytime soon to discuss about basketball in Nigeria, the state of our basketball in Nigeria, even as we prepare for that, you know, competition coming up in Ivory Coast, like I mentioned earlier. As a preliminary squad, they've gone into campaign and, you know, get to prepare for this one. players coming from everywhere across the globe to represent Nigeria, and hopefully they will represent us pretty well. While we wait for Kenny, I think we should just move straight to the FIFA Club World Cup. Kenny is here now. All right, let's see if my producer is ready to have Kenny join us right now and discuss that. But if not, I think we should go on a very quick break. All right. Hello, Kenny. Can you hear me? Good morning to you. Hello, good morning to you, Kenny. Can you hear me? Of his sleeves to share with us as far as Nigerian basketball is concerned. He's a Nigerian basketball expert, and of course, he'll be doing justice to all of those, trending issues and many more. Quick break on the show, and we'll be back. Good to have you back. It's still Dominion Sports and Dominion Television. I'm Boluwaji Ogunla. I still have Toluwani Paula Bay right here in the studio. And before that break, we discussed basketball and the provisional D-Tigers squad ahead of the Afro Basket starting, of course, very soon. And Kenny Bamidele joins us now. Good morning to you, Kenny. Can you hear me now?
Good morning to you, Boluwaji. How are you doing?
Oh, I'm great. I'm great. Oh, I'm loving this attire. Tell me about it. The inspiration behind this today. All right, Kenny, let's talk about basketball in Nigeria. Earlier, we saw the list from the Federation of provisional players that have been invited. What do you make of the list of players invited for this one?
Yeah, so I think it's actually a very talented list for the preliminary round. Call it the basket. We throw some names there, and I think that are really good names. Like a facing a fantastic we have fantastic who have got the experience playing with the national team. We've also got the likes of Lauren Ebo. Lauren Ebo could not play for Nigeria You know, at the last tournament, she was invited for, the last AfroBasket Championship. But this time around, she's been invited. Hopefully, she's going to make the court. There is also Amy Okonkwo. Of course, we saw Amy Okonkwo with Connecticut Suns when she played briefly for them in the WNBA. But of course, she's now back in playing in Europe right now. So she's also one of the most experienced players that we've got. And of course, looking at Adenike Olawuyi, last time we won the AfroBasket, Nike was with the team, but didn't play a single day. And of course, this is the first call-up. Last AfroBasket championship.
Yes, our first official call-up.
I'm looking forward to see the 12 players that will be making it to the final roster, that is for the AfroBasket championship.
Well, what are our chances going into the AfroBasket with the players that we currently parade and the influence of the coach, Wakama?
Yeah, so we are the defending champions. We have what it takes to win it again. The last time we won it, in fact, we were not the favorite in this competition. The last time we won the AfroBasket championship, because that was when we appointed Runa Wakama few weeks before the start of the AfroBasket, and of course we had some issues with the foreign players. Few weeks before the start of the AfroBasket that year, that's about 2 years ago. But of course, this time around there is proper preparation. In fact, we've got 2 friendly games to be played in Abuja at the Mo Arena. One against Mali, the other one against the other one against Kenya. That was 18th and 19th of July. So this is part of the preparation for the AfroBasket championship. Trust me, I think we have to win it. I think any team in Africa can get it.
Kenny, and now a major concern for us has to be the number, our own best players, yes, the state of Nigerian basketball. When are we going to start having home-based players dominate our league, dominate our national team, honestly?
Well, Musaki will be the one to answer this question. Because, you know, if you look at the state of Nigerian basketball, people like me have said a whole lot. I'm even tired of talking because
honestly,
we are not able to run cap. If you look at the league situation, most of the times we always have a rush league. You know, don't forget the winners, the representative for Nigeria at the Basketball Africa League.
Kenny, I call it qualifiers, not league.
I think players need more game time. They need to get more game time. And basically, I don't think anybody playing in Nigeria right now, I mean the home-based players, have done enough to be called up to the national team, to be honest. It is not their fault. This is the fault of the Basketball Federation for not playing enough games for this player to play and put themselves in position to be called up to play for the national team.
Well, administrators honestly need to do more. Well, because the D Tigers have always been the one doing us proud and making us really happy. Let's talk about the D Tigers. Yeah, they're not in the news, but then something needs to be done. Other teams are catching up, right? In Africa especially.
Yes, for this Tigers of Nigeria, I'm still going to put the blame on the federation because right from Tokyo 2020 Olympics, when Nigeria got the Olympics, most of the players for years were dropped by coach on the ground. He don't play well with the players. Some of them people bow that not because how they were treated in 2020 Tokyo Olympics. So if you look at some of these problems, especially in the federation, maybe the decisions they have made the time for us. So for these Tigers, this time we were able to qualify for the AfroBasket is the beginning of our last qualifying window. We were playing at the AfroBasket. I think that we did not have to retain the fact we wanted to be honest. But if we are able to get some of these guys, some of the top foreign guys that play the Europe, maybe teammates in Metro, maybe speed before that time, we can get players that can go to come play for us. Well, I believe that we can maybe get the semi-finals or possibly the finals. But with the roster that we paraded at the last qualifying window, I do not think that the Tigers of Nigeria are doing well at the men's AfroBasket championship.
Kenny, it's quite unfortunate, the state of basketball in Nigeria, but hopefully the girls will continue to do us proud and give us reasons to smile. Because honestly, as a basketball journalist for me, I'm tired of Nigerian basketball. Because you recall, while the administrative issue was happening, I had the president of the faction A, faction B spoke, tried to mediate, but nothing ever happened. And oh my, I'm tired of Nigerian basketball. Thank you very much, Kenny, for joining us today. Honestly. Thank you very much, Kenny, for being a part of the show. It's nice having you, and I'm honestly loving that outfit. I think I will try something out look like that out tomorrow. Charlie the Cap. That was Kenny Bamidele, of course, the Nigerian basketball analyst and expert, talking to us about Nigerian basketball, the state of basketball in Nigeria. Well, because of our time, we need to move away from basketball and talk the FIFA Club World Cup, where there are now 2 spots left in the Club World Cup round of 16. As at this morning, actually, 14 teams had booked their places in the knockout stage. Well, Borussia Dortmund defeated Austin HD 1-0 to finish top of Group E, thanks to a first-half goal from Daniel Vesson. Fluminense also qualified following a Navy 1-0 draw against Mamelodi Sundowns. In matches played in the early hours of today, Inter Milan finished top of Group E with a 2-0 win over River Plate. Monterrey took the second spot with a 4-0 thrashing of Urawa Red Diamonds. These 4 teams all joined the likes of Inter Miami, Palmeiras, PSG, Chelsea, Benfica, Bayern Munich, Flamengo, Botafogo, Juventus, and Manchester City in the next round of the competition. Well, let's talk about the eliminated teams now. At least 15 teams have been eliminated from the ongoing FIFA Club World Cup in the United States. Now, this follows the conclusion of yesterday's game, and the games concluded in the early hours of today. Well, Mamelodi Sundowns and River Plate are the latest teams to exit the tournament after their final group stage matches. Mamelodi Sundowns played a draw against Fluminense to finish in 3rd place in Group F. The South Africans, had needed a win against Fluminense to qualify for the round of 16. River Plate, on the other hand, lost 2-0 against Inter Milan to finish in 3rd position in Group E. Now, the Argentine club had needed a win to progress, of course, against the Syria side, but then the other way around. The other teams that have been eliminated from the competition are Al Ahly of Egypt, Los Angeles FC, Auckland City, Pachuca FC, Austin HD, Urawa Red Diamond, Esperance of Tunisia, Boca Juniors. Others are FC Porto, Al Ain, Wydad Casablanca, Atletico Madrid, and Seattle Sundowns. Toluwani, there you have it. African teams have disappointed. Have decided to disappoint us again.
I think all African teams representing us at the FIFA Club World Cup, like you said,
didn't even make it
at all. Not one. But I think it's actually a good run, and it shows that we need to do. We have so much homework to do. Going forward for African
We've always
football.
known that.
Yes,
but nothing is happening.
But I think this is where we need to lend our voices to them. That we need you to do better. In such competitions like this, to put African on the good map right there in European football. So I think for us, it's not a good run. For all the African teams that represented us at the FIFA Club World Cup. But I would say go back home. Try and dot the I's and the T's together.
Because if you look at
what can be done next
if you look
season.
at the teams that are represented us on the continent, Seattle Sundowns, undoubtedly one of the biggest in the continent.
Yes, in South Africa, beautiful.
And on the continent?
In the continent, actually, in the continent.
Al Ahly, the greatest club on the continent.
Yes.
Wydad, one of the biggest also from Morocco, right?
And Tunis.
And you understand? Esperance of Tunisia also, great team on the continent of Africa. I mean, 4 of the best on the continent, and they could not even make it out of the group stages. CAF needs to step up and do something about it, honestly.
The word step up, I think that's the right word to use. Step up is the right word to use right there.
But if you're in a place to advise CAF at this point, so what would that advice be?
Okay, I think they need to put in, more work on, African football. Put in more.
At what level?
At all levels, in all levels, management-wise. Recruiting the right management. Projecting African football to the global stage.
CAF can recruit manager for Shooting Stars or for Aland, right?
Okay. So I'm not even talking. So I'm talking management. I mean, so everybody go back to the drawing board. I mean, all teams, have all the clubs. So Me personally, I just want to even speak for Nigeria's sake. You know, Remo Stars, we're talking shooting stars.
We're even far.
So I think it's not going to be bad to have, you know, a Nigerian team represent us, you know, European football also. But I think, like I said, you know, the management must do things right going forward, you know, all round, you know, with the players, with all technical issues need to be in place, you know, to have African football on a global stage for me.
Honestly.
So I think it's a big one.
Because you look at it and ask yourself, do we even have a professional football club in Nigeria? Because, I mean, professional in its own, in the right sense, right? Do we really have? It doesn't look like we have one. But those that appear to have, Seattle Sundowns of this world, you know, sorry, Mamelodi Sundowns of this world, Alali and all of that, they are also the ones disappointing. That's quite funny. We're also talking about the FA Club World Cup. We are in the round of 16. Well, they're getting to the round of 16. At least 6 round of 16 fixtures at the Club World Cup have now been confirmed. Well, the Inter Milan finished top of Group E thanks to their 2-0 victory over River Plate, 10-man River Plate. Late goals from Francesco Esposito and Bastoni sealed the win for the Serie A side, who will face Fluminense in the next round of the competition. Well, tomorrow we'll talk extensively about the round of 16 fixtures that we have. I think we only have just 2 spots left. Yeah, from this particular chart you can see just 2 or 4 spots left to have a complete round of 16 for you. But let's take a look at this chart, Toluwani. Look at all the clubs on the right, on the left. Which of them do you think has what it takes to make the finals?
Okay, for me, I'm seeing Paris Saint-Germain also.
Okay, from this line, right?
From this line, I'm seeing Paris Saint-Germain, and you know, I'll make that listed final.
Come out of there?
Yes, come out
There's
of there.
There's a Bayern Munich there, don't forget.
So I don't see Bayern Munich. I don't see them. So I actually see a big battle between Flamengo and, you know, and Bayern Munich for me. But also I see Chelsea.
But I think PSG will make the final.
They're gonna make it to the final. Also Chelsea, you know, look like a team that is if Enzo Maresca, you know,
there's Botafogo, there's Fluminense, there's
the South American team.
Yeah.
But I'm gonna give it to you know,
you
Chelsea.
think we'll have an all-European final?
All-European final. It's gonna be that.
I'm sure the South Americans have other ideas. They have other ideas. I mean, it's been a nice time on the show once again today. We'll definitely be back tomorrow. Thank you very much as usual, Toluwani, for being a part of the show. And many thanks to Kenny Bamidele for also joining us on the show today to talk basketball. On behalf of the entire production crew, say many thanks to you for joining the show. And of course, matches were played in the Club World Cup today as well. Yeah, matches were played. Let's see.
You have Manchester City, Juventus by this evening.
Yeah. I think that should be our pick of the day, right? So let's try out our prediction. Yeah, there you have it on your screen. Well, the Urawa 1-3 has been played. River Plate has been played. So tonight we have Juventus, Manchester City, Wydad, Alain. Wydad.
Out already. So it's just...
and Alain.
So maybe a draw, a win will give them another bonus money in the pocket?
You know, that's what they're fighting for this one. But then, we're predicting Juventus as Manchester City. 2,000 at stake. Just head on to the comment section of this show on YouTube to enjoy that. Get that correctly and you walk away with 2,000 naira tomorrow on the show. Many people actually, you know, dropped their comments yesterday, but no predictions. Then you guys need to drop predictions to win.
I think that we need to start reading comments also just to, you know.
But absolutely, we need to.
Tomorrow.
Yeah, that's if they come in early enough.
Okay, cool.
As they come in early enough, we'll take your comment. But then we've just started on Tuesday, but trust us, we have a whole lot of sleeves for you. And tomorrow we have a special for you tomorrow. So you do have to join us right here on Dish Dial. Don't forget our social media handles, especially YouTube, where we are streaming Dominion Cast on YouTube to enjoy this show 11 a.m. every day of the week. Once again, on behalf of the entire production crew, I say thanks for watching and see you tomorrow.